A while back, my friend Ben invited me to play disc golf with him. I came from a golf background. I played golf in high school, golf in college, but I never tried disc golf. As soon as I started to play, I instantly fell in love with it. I've spent hours trying to perfect everything about my putt, my throw, the distance, the course management, everything you can think of. In golf, you want to hit the ball as far as you can, right? And it makes sense because the closer you are to the green, the shorter the approach, the easier it is to get closer to the hole. Now in disc golf, the same concept applies. You want to throw the disc as far as you can to get as close to the basket as you can to get into the basket as little as possible, right? It's the same concept. So what I've spent a ton of time doing is how do I throw the disc as far as I can? And I've somehow managed to be able to throw sometimes 450. I've just hit my milestone of 500 feet today. So that's something I'm going to try to take you into behind the scenes of my experience of how I got to throw that far. So before I get into exactly what I look for in a disc, first I want to take you through the journey that I learned all these different principles that apply to all my knowledge today. The first thing that happened was I found a destroyer at my local course and I loved it. This was my go-to disc for every shot on the course. I didn't know how to throw any other shot, it was just hyzer. Now, as our subscribers know, Nick is what you would call a disc golf connoisseur, an aficionado. He is a disc golf expert. He's the best disc golfer I know. One day I was playing with Nick and he looked at my bag and he said, "You need to get more understable discs." A few days later, we ended up playing again and he showed up with a bag full of various discs. Now, one of those discs was the Thrasher. I put Ben's voice over that. I thought it'd be funny, but this disc single-handedly changed my philosophy about disc golf. I threw this disc every chance I could. The hyzer flip became a well-known companion to me. Before I knew it, my whole bag became understable. Understable putters, understable mid-ranges, understable drivers. But this only carried my game so far. Until recently, I finally started to dial in which discs I throw the furthest. There are indeed discs that are just overstable and understable enough to carry your discs to your maximum distance. Here's what I found that worked best for me. Anything between a 12 to 14 speed for my arm speed, I probably have just above average power, if I were to guess. What I like to see is the turn and the fade net out to just about 0. So on a strike or a Pharaoh, that's -1, 2 is what you probably see, which is a net 1. We want to see that as close to 0 as possible. For me, I like to throw things on hyzer, flip up, turn, and then fade back. Now the final piece of criteria for me was I have to have a disc that I can throw on hyzer as far as I can. The reason why is because I want to stay in the slot, I want to fire those hips, and I want to rotate and really get that disc to go flying. Now think about this. If you try to throw something on the balls of your feet, you will throw it farther, aka on your toes. I didn't know what balls were either. Now, if you try to throw as far as you can on your heels, you're leaning back, not engaging your core effectively, your weight transfer stalls, it kills your hip rotation, your plant foot becomes unstable, and you lose the kinetic chain, which is feet, hips, shoulders, arm, and disc. Think of trying to jump or sprint off your heels. It's awkward and inefficient, and it never works. So in conclusion, power is going to come from firing those hips, getting the rotation down, and distance is going to come from dialing in that perfect disc that maximizes the stability and the understability of the disc. It's also important to really remember that what I've just shared is my personal journey and experience to get me to where I am now. My strengths and weaknesses are different than yours, which is different than the next person, which is different than the next person. So for you, just take away from this video what you think is applicable to you that will help you throw further, but try not to make this a one-size-fit-all. This video is certainly not trying to attempt to say that the way that I throw my disc is the best way to throw, right? I'm sure I'm actually at the bottom scale of how to throw a disc, if we're being honest. But that's okay, right? We all grow at different speeds. What I would say is take away from this what you can, apply it to your own game, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.